people. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. My video for today is jobs autistic people can do. Yes, jobs autistic people can do. And I will take you through this video, and it goes like this. You know very well that people with autism have challenges in getting careers or jobs because of their condition, and this is a challenge not only, especially in developing countries like in my country Kenya and other African nations that face difficulty in finding employment opportunities, especially for the young people. And you know very well that autistic people often excel in jobs that leverage their strengths like detail orientation, pattern recognition, and logical thinking. So people with autism, they prefer jobs that jog their memory in terms of knowing the details, how to solve problems, like in terms of logical reasoning, and also they're able to recognize patterns that take place within the society. And I will take you through the challenges that autistic people face when finding employment in a given job or company, and they include the following. Number one is social communication. People with autism find it hard to understand verbal and non-verbal signs, making them to take the instructions literally, meaning that some people with autism find it hard to interpret communication the way others expect. For example, understanding jokes, understanding metaphors, or even indirect instructions. They find it also hard in reading facial expressions or even body language. For example, a facial expression of someone who is happy, a facial expression of someone who is sad or even angry. They even find it hard to interpret the body language of a certain individual. For example, how the person moves when he or she is happy or angry, or even when he or she is annoyed. They are not able to interpret how others feel. So that's a challenge that people with autism face when they find employment in a certain job or company. Number two is social interaction. They find it difficult in understanding and recognizing the feelings and emotions of themselves and even for others, for every situation. That means that they find it hard to understand emotions, for example, happiness, anger, or even fear from facial expressions. They find it difficult to understand why people feel a certain way. For example, why does, for example, Jack feel hurt when I tell him this and that? Why does, for example, Irene feels irritated when I come to her in a certain way? Yeah, something like that. They're not able to understand why certain individuals feel happy or sad or even annoyed when they approach them, because they fear that they will judge them because they are not doing what they want, what others want. They feel like if they don't do what is expected from others to do, they'll feel like others will judge them harshly or even neglect them. That's a challenge that people with autism face when it comes to social interaction. The third challenge is sensory sensitivity, meaning that some autistic people can be overly sensitive to sound, to light, touch, smell, or even taste. For example, especially if you look at jobs like in the construction area, they find that some sounds they irritate them so much. For example, if for example people drop in huge wires, bah, bah, they feel scared or even not only scared but even afraid or even irritated because the sound is so deafening, and it's also annoying. You find that people in the construction site also, they make sounds, the drill sounds, it makes them feel scared, or even in some restaurants where people shout and they are not able to adjust to people shouting because it makes them scared, not only scared but also irritated. This happens in bars, for example. Yeah, I think autistic people like to work in places that are quiet, even that are noise friendly, even lights that are not so bright. Some autistic people have that problem of sensory sensitivity, especially those with high functioning autism. They have that challenge. The ones with mild autism, not so much, but the ones with high functioning autism, they have that challenge. And I will take you through the best autism friendly jobs. And the first one is computer programming. They enjoy logical and predictable work that involves visual information. Computer programming involves coding, like for example using VS Code to code a website. They also are good in Python or even JavaScript, where they're able to code the website so that the website is created. Even using coding to create a game, for example Unity and other game engines that involved a lot of coding. They are good in that. Number 2 is accounting, whereby many are good with numbers. For example, if you give them a job in accounting in a certain company, they're able to calculate the amount of money made by a certain company to see whether they have made a profit, a company has made a profit or a loss. Yes. Number 3 is graphic design. They are very good visual thinkers and act as a creative outlet to express their ideas. Those with autism can do jobs of graphic design, whereby if you tell them to create a poster, they are able to create a poster. If you tell him or her to create a banner, he or she will create a banner for you. Or if you tell him or her to do video editing, he or she will be able to create good videos and even good animations using Canva Adobe, Photo Illustrator, amongst other graphic design softwares. Yeah. Number 4 is gardening, whereby it involves working alone in nature with every task having a clear beginning and end. They are able to mow the lawn, to clear the grass, to plant trees, even crops, and other gardening schedules. I'll give you some other honorable mentions of the other jobs, like for example, being a librarian, being a data entry, doing data entry, even doing entrepreneurship jobs, for example, selling water, even doing what's it called? Even doing game development, amongst other careers that they are involved in. And the institutions that can support can support them are the Kenya Institute for Special Education, which is in Kasarani in Kenya. There's also Autism Society of Kenya, where people with autism and other disabilities can be supported. Even Autism Support Center in Kenya, even Strathmore University can support those with autism, where students with disabilities can do courses like in neurodivergence in tech courses, where they do units like robotics, game development, graphic design, programming, mobile app development, amongst other units that are there. And students that do that course in Strathmore University, they become successful in life. And the other not institutions that support people with autism and other disabilities, for example, the Autism Society of Uganda, there's the Autism Care Uganda, there's the Mukisa Foundation. There are also people in Makerere University. They do a course in special needs education course, and even in St. Paul's University in Uganda, they do that course that will help them get jobs. Yeah, these are the jobs that people with autism face, and these are some of the challenges that autistic people face when getting careers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you've been blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've learned something from this video, comment down below, and bye.